let me check in here with the first half of chapter 25, where I think I've just hit the actual midway point. I've done a midway, did my midway kind of review thoughts, but I'd like to really just jump here at chapter 25, where he just after the big fete, which the papers are still talking about, he woke up, as Byron said, woke up one day famous, but not for any literary achievement, not for any kind of noble kind of social stand or good work or anything like that. No, he is now famous because his horse won the Derby. It beat the the prime minister's horse, uh, in that race, neck and neck. But Emil riding it, um, goaded it on to hitherto unseen speeds, and he's won the Derby. At which point he is now launched into the uppermost things and has been presented to the Prince of Wales, to Sir, and this and that. And he does have a lot of scorn for this. He's like, I did nothing. All I did is I owned a horse that won a race, but this has suddenly made me super famous, super, like, everyone wants to see me. And he's really, he finds all of this, like, just the hypocrisy, the foolishness of us is just so dumb. Which point Lucio goes, I see that you really don't give a shit about this stuff. You find this laughable, you find this hypocritical. So here's something that I'm offering you, one-time offer. This is your chance. Start just with basically, not like act coarsely, but just like say no. Just tell them this is wrong. This is nonsense. Act nobly. Give up half your wealth. Give it to the poor, and withdraw from all this. And most importantly, withdraw from me. You will have no further use for me. You will no longer need someone like me who is here just here. I'm here to introduce you to all the high mucky mucks and to do all this kind of the turn the wheels so that you've wiggled up the pole to, as he says at some point, you've wiggled up the pole to the very high, you're the bare highest point on the thing. Here's your chance. Do you want to do that? And Tempest laughs at him, says, no, I do not want to do that. Anyone who gave up half their wealth, they wouldn't receive any thanks for this. And as he said, Lucio said, like, this was what Christ said to the rich man. It's like, give up half your wealth, give it to the poor. And it's like, and he says, like, as this, Tempest in reply, he calls him the visionary Jew, is how he refers to him. And it's like, oh yes, I forgot. And Lucy's like, oh yeah, I forgot that it's the style of today to blaspheme. Yes, so you wouldn't do as Christ suggests. And says, like, yeah, no, and of course, and I wouldn't want to give up your company, Lucio, at all. I would be a fool, and it'd be horrible. It'd be terrible because I'd be giving up your advice, my dear fellow, would do credit to a Salvationist preacher, but it's quite valueless to me because I'm impossible to follow. To say to say farewell forever to you in the first place would make me guilty of the blackest ingratitude. In the second instance, society with all its ridiculous humbug is nevertheless necessary for the amusement of myself and my future wife. Royalty, moreover, is accustomed to be flattered. And shall we not be hurt by joining in the general inane chorus? Thirdly, if we did, as the visionary Jew suggested, and Lucio, this is where he questions him, it's like, they just call me a fool. And so he's like, all right, let's not talk about it anymore. The next big thing is probably I can set you up in government. You may hope soon to dine at Marlborough House, and a little backstair influence and political jobbery, you will work you into the cabinet if you care for it. So yes, into that. And in fact, this is like the social commentary of this thing. In fact, you are the greatest product of the age, a man with 5 million and the owner of a Derby winner. What is the glory of the intellect compared to such a position as yours? Men envy you, and as for angels, if there are any, you may be sure they do wonder. A man's fame, guaranteed by a horse, is something indeed to make an angel stare. And yes, And you know, basically he's like he laughed uproariously from that. And from that day he never spoke again of his singular proposition that I should part with him and let the nobler nature in me have its way. I was not to know that he had staked a chance upon my soul and lost it, and from that henceforth he took a determined course with me, implacably on to the appalling end, which is there's the Faustian tale. There's the Faustian tale where there's you try and make a deal with the devil, but there's also the one where basically God makes a deal with the devil, makes a gamble with the devil, and he's took a chance on Tempest's soul, and he's lost it because he's won. He's won. He has corrupted Tempest, and henceforth he took a determined course with me, implacable on to the appalling end. So okay, I've given you your chance to get off the bus here. You get off the train here. Nope. Well, we're going to go to the end of the line, and it's not going to be pleasant. It's going to be damnation and hell, and eternal torment for his soul, I believe, is where we're going with this. So yes, that's the halfway point of chapter 25, and I think maybe this is the turning point in the sorrows of Satan. It's both the sorrows that Satan delivers to other people, and it's also the sorrows of Satan himself. Yet another soul that he has won, which is a sorrow to him because it further damns him out of heaven as well. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.